The following broadcast is a production of HCCTV.
Hi, I'm Justin Boyd.
Hi, I'm George Luna.
I'm Brittany Pacheco.
And I'm Frank Cooper.
And we are
The Watchers in the Basement.
Welcome to the Watchers in the Basement. We are coming to you from the Main Street Studios here in Houston, Texas. And once again, we're reviewing the Amazon Prime series, The Boys. Today we're talking about episode 5, which is titled Good for the Soul.
Why are you throwing gang signs?
I don't know. I was just doing number 5s.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, George, you may want to do a sign language version of it, or if you just want to read the quick synopsis, that's fine too.
I don't want to offend anybody, so yeah. So the boys head to the Believe Expo to follow a promising lead in their ongoing war against the Supes. There might be a homicidal infant, but you'll have to see for yourself.
Oh my god. If that isn't like an attention grabber and something that makes you want to watch this show, I don't know what is. Like,
Makes me not want to have kids.
that too.
So,
it's a really good form of birth control.
Yeah.
A homicidal infant.
Oof.
Yeah.
Very true. So the episode, it opens in Havana, Cuba.
I never caught that, by the way. Like, I didn't even see where it said Cuba or anything.
Really? It said it like in the lower
I didn't
third.
read it. I didn't see it. I did not see it. I must have I glimpsed off for a little bit.
Reading is fundamental. It's
Okay.
not always fun.
I'm just curious.
Did you not notice it either, Nathan? See it?
I'm
Okay.
curious. When y'all are watching shows, not just this one in general, are y'all like watching it, or are you also on your phones and watching it?
A little bit of both.
Okay, that explains a lot.
Actually, I usually have subtitles on.
I do too.
Yeah.
So I
Subtitles.
think we covered it.
Yes.
Subtitles.
Because I keep the subtitles on
But
all the time, and then
there was no dialogue at that moment.
I don't know, but sometimes it says like dramatic music playing or some ridiculous stuff like that, and then you can't tell.
So to our followers, do you watch television shows or movies with subtitles?
Yeah. I
Leave a
do.
comment down below.
Sometimes some of the accents from the characters, like the
That's
butcher guy,
true.
sometimes I can't like. He
Understand.
just goes overboard. The
Yeah.
accent I can't tell.
Well, you know who also has a really thick accent to understand?
Who?
The Cubans. Let's just face it, it's true. So in Cuba, we have Popclaw and A-Train.
Yeah.
And Popclaw is, I'm assuming, smoking some sort of drug, I'm not sure. And A-Train shows up and says, hey, I think I figured out a way to get past all this mess with the Compound V. And it's Stillwell. Stillwell is open to, us going public. But Popclaw first needs to tell A-Train who she told about Compound V.
Okay.
So my initial thought was, okay, is this his way of just trying to get information out of her, or is Stillwell actually involved? Thoughts?
I don't think Stu knew anything about it, to be honest. I think this is strictly between A-Train and Homelander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Homelander really runs that ship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
you're right.
I don't think Stu was involved in not one bit.
Right.
I have a random question. Can A-Train run through water? Like, since you can run that fast?
I don't know. We don't know the extent of it. I know in the DC universe, Flash can.
Can he carry someone and like run super fast? Is that how they got there?
You would think if he did, he'll vaporize him.
So the Flash can run on water?
Yeah.
So Jesus could only walk. So, just saying, someone's greater than someone else.
Whoa!
Whatever.
I mean, he is part of the Seven, so I mean,
Yeah.
that's above God. So, yeah.
I have no comment.
You're
Okay.
hilarious.
So Popclaw finally comes clean about the Compound V and who she did tell, and after what we think maybe A-Train's like, okay, everything's okay, don't worry about it, what have you. Nope, he uses his wicked fast speed to inject her with several
Heroin.
needles
Something.
of some drug. And when A-Train leaves to go back to talk to Homelander back at Vought, Homelander asks, well, what was it? And he said heroin overdose.
Yeah.
Which, that's a pretty messed up way to go about. Just to go out. I mean, he killed his girlfriend
Yep.
just because of that
But
information.
it makes me wonder if you ever, like, a couple episodes ago, we had the debate whether or not A-Train really loved her. And I think A-Train used her as a pawn. Like I think he had infatuation towards her, but I don't think that was love. Because you don't treat somebody like that you love.
Yeah.
Like if you truly love somebody, you're gonna do everything you can to possibly protect that person.
Yeah. He didn't try.
He didn't try at all. Yeah.
Then I think later on you kind of see that maybe he did
He
care
would
about
go-
her
yeah.
more than.
Then we
That's
thought,
true.
but still, it doesn't
That's
matter.
true.
Yeah, I think he's just.
He's an addict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, A-Train is
He's
an
a
addict.
junkie,
You're
too.
right. He's
Yeah.
a
He is a
junkie.
junkie, so.
Junkie.
But I think it's like you said, like he's fearful of Homelander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
Homelander
yeah,
will
who
just
isn't?
kill everybody.
Yeah, who isn't?
He runs all this.
Well, Homelander does tell A-Train that he messed up, like with this whole Compound V thing, and the next task is to find the female who is injected or has the Compound V in her as well. And Homelander is really good about intimidating. You know, like, I love you. He's telling this to A-Train, they embrace, and it's like, you know, I'm always gonna look after you. I'm always gonna protect you, and it's like, that's not a good thing.
Or he's like that really cool big brother that I never had. Because I was the oldest. Unfair.
So were you the Homelander of your brothers?
Oh man.
No,
Oh
no,
God.
it wasn't.
Oh, okay. No.
I mean, you know,
Let me ask your brothers that question.
I'm the biggest and the oldest, but like I couldn't fly. I mean,
Did you try?
no offense, if I could fly, I would not be here right now. But yeah.
I think your brothers watch this podcast or listen to
Yeah,
us.
one of them does.
One of them does. So,
Hello, Justin's brother.
hello. Tell us stories. It's Justin Homelander.
Leave a comment. Leave a comment down below.
Anyway, so we're moving on from that. We next see the female. The female is with the boys, and she's now in handcuffs. Rightfully so, because she will kind of make an attempt to go after Frenchie, and he makes her like this really nice meal. Like, you know, he's French, and he's all about like the details and just making sure everything is nice and what have you. And he's trying to, I guess, like appeal to her,
Yeah.
make her comfortable. What do you guys think at this point with Frenchie and the female?
He definitely cares a lot about her. He sees a lot of his self in her, and that's why he's trying to at least like get her to open up to him. As hard as it's gonna be for him to find out, because
Right.
definitely she's been through some stuff, and it's just gonna take her time.
Right. He does make mention that, you know, to the female, I do think you understand me. You know, can you talk, or
Yeah.
can you respond in that kind of thing? And she does, in a sense. She charges after him. So at this point, obviously we've already finished the season, but do you think she's right in still being wary of Frenchie and the boys, or?
Of course. I mean,
yeah.
I think, just from her perspective, she was nabbed from her home, trafficked to the U.S., doesn't know a soul in the U.S. All her family's back home. Like, I would be distrustful too. Like, I'm in this foreign place where I don't know anybody, and I'm getting pumped up full of Compound V. I don't know where these powers are coming from. Like, she's scared.
But even though Frenchie's making this gesture of preparing a meal for her, and it's not just a meal, like it's a really nice looking meal, and he even gets like a little crate and puts like, what looks like a tablecloth over and what have you, and tries to present it to her that way. I mean, like, isn't that like an act of kindness, or
Yeah.
like, I'm trying to get on your better side? I mean,
It is, but at the same time, she doesn't know anybody in this new country. And
She shouldn't trust anyone.
Yeah, she shouldn't trust them. But she's naturally scared.
She could be poisoned. She doesn't know what's happening.
That's true.
So
And we don't know off screen. Maybe there was acts of kindness that was used towards her only to get more information
Something,
out of
yeah.
her. So
That
she's
makes
probably
sense.
just naturally
Yeah.
distrustful right now. So
exactly.
She could be allergic to the food too.
there you go.
Seriously.
Oh, peanut allergy.
And I think,
You have an
yeah,
allergy?
I think honestly,
I
I don't know that he cares about her so much. I think he just wants to show off his culinary skills.
Yes.
I really think that's all it's about.
the French.
And then what's going on?
Voila.
What's going on with Cherie? Like, is she still in the picture? Like,
Not really.
Did they break up today?
Well, she's hiding because they blew up her place.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
remember. But when she did meet up with Frenchie to get
They said
the
they were
gas,
supposed
she found a new spot
Okay.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, we don't know at this point. And one point I do want to make is that when Frenchie is speaking with the female, he says "mon cœur," which translates to "my love." So I think there's definitely, he's got some sort of attraction to her.
Oh, yeah,
just
sure. He cares about her.
Yeah, like you said, he really cares about her because he feels that she's innocent and she's a Spice Girl. You know, she's one of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful fantasy to have. I always had that fantasy of like meeting somebody we don't speak the language at all, but body language, the chemistry was just so strong between us.
Has that never happened?
Does it start
Did
out?
that, wait, did that happen with the dolphin in Mexico?
That was more of a one-way occurrence. I'm
just curious. It's a different language. It's body language.
I was
you
not
know?
open to his or her advances. I was very violated that day. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Carry on.
Sorry, I had to make a call back to that dolphin because
Yeah.
that was so funny.
Yeah, that was very.
What was the name of the dolphin in Ace Ventura?
Snowflake.
Snowflake. There you go. You want to watch a dolphin movie? Ace Ventura, that's a good one.
Yeah, because Ace Ventura pretends to be the trainer and he's
Yeah.
communicating with the dolphin.
You wanna do that?
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to make a fool of myself.
You should do that scene. Let's just do it.
No, I'm not doing it.
Do that as bonus content.
It's a great scene, though. I love Ace Ventura. It's like one of my favorite movies.
Well, you've already done somewhat of a
Ace
Ace Ventura thing on one of our past videos, which I guess we'll attach and send it. When we did the
football
one,
video.
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because football season had kicked off, and all the women in the office were getting all
Yep.
like excited about it, and yeah, it's like
We'll post that.
Halftime.
do. I love that part. That's my favorite part. Okay, we're getting
Just give me a
off.
chance, coach.
It's all psychological. And then George is all, I need that report today. I'm working on it. Anyway, off on a tangent here, but let's go back to this episode of The Boys. Let's talk about the Believe Expo. What was y'all's first impressions about this expo?
I thought the show did a great job of like really encompassing what goes on in everyday society, how religion has become such a cash grab, and a lot of it's propaganda. The Believe Expo to me really signified how we want to push a narrative, and we're going to use religion to gain people's trust. So that was a very, very surreal scene, very surreal part of the episode. I thought that was very, very relative to today's times with religion. So
To me, it looked like a Coachella of Christianity or something.
That's one way of looking at it.
It just looked like a music festival. There's like thousands of people there,
Yeah.
just there for that. And yeah, is there really stuff like that?
I'm sure there
I'm
is.
sure there
I think it's
is.
called Burning Man, right?
No, that's like for hippies and stuff like that. Right? I don't think they have a religion there.
That was a joke.
Oh my gosh. Justin, do you know if you saw any food trucks in this vicinity? Because they advertised
There
it.
probably were because
Okay.
they had the aerial shot.
Right.
So
I was
bet
looking.
there were some food
We
trucks.
gotta go back and look at that. 'Cause I
Yeah,
don't
I'd
think
like to
we-
know what kind of food trucks. Just in
There was definitely like some food stands and some tents and stuff with
yeah,
because Butcher and MM are there. They're trailing
Huey and Starlight.
Huey and Starlight, and Butcher's eating something.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
Huey's
Yeah,
eating
that's
something
true.
too.
One of
Popcorn. They're
them.
eating something,
Something,
yeah.
right.
Corn dog or something.
I think that my favorite part of the
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 expo.
Believe Expo is when Butcher is walking around with MM, and he's like arguing with people about religion.
Yeah, we,
And
can,
I'm
we
like,
can't
We
say
can't
what
say
we
any.
can't say what he says.
But that clip's on YouTube, so
Yeah,
people
you
can
should
look
watch
at that. It's pretty crazy.
We might actually just share it on our
Boom.
social media pages, and you guys
That's good.
can see what we're talking about. But here at the expo, it opens with a woman singing, and presumably she's also a soup because she has like these
Wings.
angel wings that
Yeah.
expand,
Yeah.
and she's singing beautifully. I mean, and she's got the masses singing along, and it's a nice like setup. It's obviously appealing to the masses. But we see Huey and Starlight. They're together. She's back in her old uniform because apparently
That's
the new
too-
uniform.
yeah.
This one's
Too-
more family friendly.
yeah.
Exactly.
That's so dumb. Like, why would you have her like put it on in the first place if you're still gonna make her put it off for different people? Like that makes no sense.
Right.
That's a good.
And we find out from Starlight that she and her mom would travel to these kind of events,
Yeah.
working the Christian circuit as she said, and so Starlight kind of feels at home given that everything that happened. But Butcher, Huey, and MM are there for other reasons. They want to be able to get to Ezekiel because if you recall in last episode, MM was able to get like information on the packaging, the tracking. It was coming from Samaritan's Embrace, which is Ezekiel's charity. So, Frank,
Yes.
can you talk about what the plan is to get to Ezekiel?
Well, so Starlight has like VIP access to the back room where Homeland is baptizing community members of the event.
Well, those who
So he
pay
wants-
for it.
Yeah, $15,000.
Yeah.
20 or 15?
15,000.
15K?
15K.
Dumped in the water in your clothes.
Yeah. So I don't. That's
Don't understand that.
how regular people have that kind of money is that's amazing to me.
Yeah.
But Butcher talks to Huey and he's like, hey, I want you to use your relationship with Starlight to get to the backstage so we can corner Ezekiel, basically blackmail him.
With what?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It was the footage.
It's a picture of his manwich.
Oh yes,
I think
from
it
the
was-
club, right?
Yeah, I think it was video.
Yeah.
It was from the
Yeah.
club.
He said the man with.
Man.
Yes.
That's what we're calling it.
Yes,
Yeah.
from the club. So of course Huey is hesitant like he is with all other plans.
Right.
But I'm kind of with him on this. That's a bad idea. Like he really likes Starlight, and
Yeah.
because Butcher's hate towards soups, it's black or white. Everything,
Right.
all soups are bad, and like,
Yeah.
and of course with Huey now having this heightened interest of like, oh, your popularity. Let me take advantage of this. Let me go back there and be a
Right.
groupie or whatever. It
Right.
turns off Starlight in the process.
Yes.
Even though his goal was to be met and he gets back there, but sometimes he's damaging the relationship he has with Starlight
Right.
or what relationship they do have.
Yeah.
So one thing I do want to point out with Butcher, explaining this plan to Huey, because no one knew it, only Butcher, and then was like, "Oh, why is this the first time I'm hearing about it?" But I don't know if y'all have caught this. Butcher always appeals to Huey and saying, "Hey, you've murdered a soup. Like, this is cake.
Right.
This is cake going on a date with Starlight. This is cake, getting behind the scenes to meet Ezekiel and get information. Like, you got this. Like, you're good." I think that's wrong. Like,
Yeah,
how
he's trying to manipulate him.
yeah, it's
He already did the hardest part.
But he
like,
does that
just keep
with
doing
all
this.
members of the boys.
Yeah.
Like everything is for self-interest, and it's basically about Becca, his wife. Everything he
Yes.
does goes back to him trying to find his wife, and he doesn't care who he uses in the process. Whether it's the federal agent, whether it's his Frenchie, who he doesn't, it doesn't matter.
Anybody.
I want to get to the bottom of this, find my wife, and figure out what happened. All costs.
I mean, he needs them to help out. Otherwise, like, it'd just be The Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different show. I don't know if you'd like the title anymore.
no, I wouldn't.
El Chico.
And Chico.
Look at me with the Espanol.
Butcher.
Me llamo es Justin.
Good job.
When I was in Spanish class, like in high school.
Oh, will it be me llamo Houston? Is it J
Oh,
si-
yeah,
is
probably
is
so.
it J silent?
Probably so.
No?
But I was
Yeah?
gonna say, like, when I was in
Can we just say Rupert?
high school Spanish, like, we had to pick a name, and so I chose Antonio, which, and so I was always so used to, because we had to, like, in our class, we couldn't say our names. We had to, like, use our class name, so I had to say, me llamo es Antonio.
Why don't you say Roberto?
I know, right?
No, they wanted us to pick a name.
Oh.
Like, not your real name. Like, pick a, like,
Okay.
Did your teacher have a fetish of like using pseudonyms? I'm
don't
not
know, but-
following.
God.
Well, they wanted us to, like, have a Spanish language kind of name. Although I was like, Antonio was, like, kind of like,
You should have gone with
could be
Jorge.
Italian, right? Like,
Yeah.
what's that?
So you should have gone with Jorge.
Wait,
Jorge?
Antonio's an Italian name?
Sort of, right? Is that, there's
I
a
don't know.
I
heard
think,
an
I think it's
Italian guy named
Spanish.
Tony?
Yeah.
Well,
Tony?
Tony?
Well, my name now is now Herman, so call me Herman or Herman.
Oh my god.
Why are we on
What
this?
about Franquito?
Franquito?
That's too close to Frank. No, that's too
anyway.
close.
See, I like saying Francois with your name.
I love
Francois.
Francois.
That is not.
Is that Francis in English?
French.
It's
I don't
French.
know.
French. Oh. No,
Frank-
I'm
Frank and
saying
French.
Francis. I'm saying that's the English version of Francis. Is what I'm saying.
Send help.
It's the French version of Frank.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's reel it back in, guys.
That was
And we
Frank.
can,
Frank.
and we
I'm
can-
just messing with you. I have
Oh,
no idea.
okay.
let's
Sorry.
reel it back in. Let's get back to this episode. Moving away from the actual event of the expo, there is a memorial for the lives lost for flight, transoceanic flight 37.
Yeah.
And Justin, you want to talk on that?
I do. More than anything.
So enthused.
So Homelander's there, and he's reading off the names of the people who perished in the crash.
Thanks to him.
Yeah, thanks to him. Or no thanks to him.
Either way.
I mean, he kinda-
it works both ways.
Yeah.
It could work both ways.
He definitely got an assist.
Yeah,
like,
he did.
It might be a hockey assist. I don't know. Like,
What's a hockey assist?
What's a hockey assist?
it's a hockey assist is when you pass to somebody who passes somebody who scores. Like in basketball, if I throw you the
Yeah,
ball,
that's
you
soccer,
hit it,
really.
you hit a shot. That's an assist.
Yeah.
But in hockey, if I throw you the ball, then you throw the ball to Brittany, and she scores, I get an assist too. I get a point.
Oh.
So hockey fans, don't at me because I don't follow your. But
Don't at you.
or at me, I don't care. Like
At
give me
us.
attention.
At
Bring
us.
it.
Start a debate.
Bring it. I'm ready to fight. Come on.
Oh my God.
These are hockey fans,
Yeah,
man.
take off the gloves and rip your jersey, sweater deal, whatever. Like I'm ready to go.
It's a lot of like.
It's a lot of
lower
accessories.
Body,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
upper body strength.
And
Because
their little mittens and yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think that like people play hockey for real. Listen to me. If you play hockey in America, you play hockey because you're not good at football and basketball. Just saying, or baseball. You can't cut it in the real sports, so you play the little,
I guess that was true
Do
for
you, know
my.
how, do you know how to ice skate?
No,
I
I
don't.
didn't need to learn because I could play the real sports.
my god.
We just lost all of our Canadian listeners.
Damn it.
Sorry to our Canadian friends out there.
About that,
That's how I say it.
I know.
God. I was gonna say about Michael Scott. He
Yeah.
clearly couldn't really
No, but
play
he can-
basketball, but he can skate.
Yeah.
Steve Carell can actually
Yeah.
skate.
And to our Canadian fan, I'm sorry. Anyway, but you know what? The Canadian fan, you know what he can throw in my face? The Raptors won the championship.
Oh,
Toronto.
that's true.
T-Dot.
Then
Great.
Kawhi,
sport.
then Kawhi left. So
Then Kawhi left.
Yeah.
Now you're just nobody.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays are really bad. And we have the Astros.
Yeah.
Hey, why are you throwing shade at the Astros?
No, I'm saying we have the Astros.
we have
Okay,
the
okay.
America.
I thought you were throwing shade at the Astros. I'm like, how dare
I'm just
you?
trying to get this American thing going because Homelander has a big pro-America speech in this episode that we're going to
Okay.
get to.
Yes.
That was a
Nice.
perfect.
I am
Perfect.
I know what I'm
transition.
doing. I got a game plan, and it's not on paper.
No, it's not.
We were so
Right.
off the rails. I didn't think we were gonna go back to any
Not
of
on
this.
Papel,
That was
right?
so good.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
I'm
real
impressed.
good. Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're back to
The
the
memorial.
memorial, and Homelander is reading off the names, and this happens a lot now. Like it happened with 9/11. It happens with like school shootings, and of course that happens like every other week here in America. So Canada's got us beat on that too. But so while at the memorial, so Queen Maeve is up there on stage, and Homelander's going off about whatever, and so she gets so upset she walks away.
Homelander does read off the names of the mother and daughter that were killed.
Yeah, and they show their
And,
picture, and
Yeah, there's another young girl who's holding their picture, presumably a family member,
Mm-hmm.
and Maeve has like flashbacks to the plane and the mother and daughter
Yeah.
asking for help.
Yeah.
So,
Tough.
sorry, I kind of
No,
hijacked that.
that's
Sorry, that
that's
wasn't
it.
appropriate.
She hijacked the memorial speech about the hijacking.
Wildly inappropriate.
Yes,
My bad.
Yes.
My bad. But Maeve walks away.
Yeah.
She walks away, and then Homelander basically says, I made the best of this situation, and we all know he made the situation in general. I still stand firm and say that he had something to do with this whole initial hijacking. I mean, we haven't seen any proof. However, that's just my
However,
opinion.
yeah.
I'm just amazed how there's not a sense of like remorse, guilt
No.
from Homelander at all. Like
No.
you would think when they showed the picture of the mom and the daughter, he would have been like, man, I kind of screwed up there, but like not at all.
No,
like
not at
he's
all.
like he's Gucci. Like he's like, oh well.
He's like, we're so sorry for your loss.
yeah, it's man.
It's all corporate kind of speech.
Very much
You know,
so.
thoughts and prayers. That what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Nothing. So
Yeah. So we're gonna go back to Believe Expo real quick,
Sure.
and Starlight is seeing that there's like new booths talking about marriage and how marriage is between a man and a woman, and she's like not like
It's so
she's like, when
awkward.
did this happen? Because she's walking with her mother and she's asking her like, when did that happen? Oh no, that's always been there. It's like, okay, what are you giggling
Now
about?
there's a poster that says like impure thoughts question mark, and it says fly straight, and it shows Homelander.
Homelander with the airplane.
Right, with the airplane.
With the
yeah.
airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fly straight.
That's classic.
So,
I did
that
see
made me
those
laugh.
posters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently the agenda of making sure that marriage stays between a man and a woman is being pushed, and Starlight is about to go take part in the team roundtable panel, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
So thoughts on that before we jump
It was
into
just an awkward interaction when, because you can see she doesn't really think like that anymore, and she's starting to see, like, meet people, see people, become more open to like everything that's happening.
Right.
I love another part from the Believe Expo is Ezekiel's like opening speech.
Yes.
It's
What did he say?
it's
I don't
pretty
remember.
funny. He's like, he's like,
Why can A-Train do what he? Why can he run so
Right,
fast? Why
right,
can
right.
Homelander fly? Why can I do this? And he outstretches his arms and they expand because he's flexible,
Right.
Yeah.
you know. And he's like, because we believe.
We believe.
Points
Oh
up to
my
the sky,
gosh.
you know,
Yeah.
because of Christ and all that. So.
Yeah, that's
He has like a Robert Tilton vibe.
who's Robert Tilton?
Is it Robert Tilton, the preacher from back then? That got. Help me out here. Is it Tilton?
No.
Tilton? No.
Who
Are
was
you-
on about?
you're-
Tilda Swinton was in. What was she in?
The TV pastor that got arrested for like embezzling money and.
That's like a lot of them, dude.
It's like every one of them.
What his last name
all
is like
of them.
Tilton.
Baker?
Huh? No, not Tammy Faye Baker. It's the other. I'm gonna Google it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna continue. So
Yeah.
you're right.
He's gonna find like a whole list of them.
This is a hot topic, apparently. So, yes, you're right. Ezekiel is speaking to the masses and saying, we all believe, we have faith, and this is why we can do what we do. This
Yeah.
is why Christ was able to walk on water,
Right.
whereas A-Train apparently can run on water,
Supposedly.
supposedly.
Yeah, Robert Tilton.
Okay.
TV evangelist. He was embezzling money in the '90s. He went to jail for like a few years.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's from McKinney, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, he was
God.
like the big like I used to like
Is he on those channels on TV?
yeah, middle of the night like he'll come on and like talk about God and
Is he the one that
give
says
some-
like the ridiculous stuff? He's like, if you don't give money, you like get.
No, that's another guy.
Okay.
But
That's the other 1,000
that's
guys.
the other. No, but it was like in the mid '90s. Like he Stretch Armstrong reminds me of Tilton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
What did you just call Ezekiel?
Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a wrestling?
No, that was a toy.
A toy?
Back in the-
Oh!
I'm pretty sure I'm my age right now, but yeah.
Well, I'm not that much younger than you.
Yeah, it was like in the '90s. Stretch Armstrong.
I
he
was, I was a
Yeah.
kid in the 90s. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he was an
I
action
just
figure.
wasn't playing with those toys.
Like Mr. Plastic. That's a
Yeah, Mr. Plastic as well,
superhero.
yeah.
Okay.
I think he's DC.
I think so. Yeah, he is DC. Mr. Plastic. Mm-hmm.
Back to
the
believe.
show.
So Starlight is starting to feel the pressure during her teen roundtable. George, what do you remember of this conversation?
I think I already said that. I already talked about it.
Did you?
Like, yeah, I literally just did right before this.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening. We're going on so many tangents right now. I am
Yeah.
so sorry.
Sorry.
But her roundtable is interesting because they're asking her these questions
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like, oh well, I have a friend, she's of a different faith. It's kind of my responsibility to bring her to Christ. And I'm like, is it though? And don't misunderstand me. Like, I grew up in a very religious household. I did Bible study class. I went to church and all that stuff. But like, I still don't feel like I should impose my beliefs on other people, whether you have another faith or you don't at all. Like, let's just all be respectful of everyone's choices and
Yeah.
lifestyle and that kind of
But
thing.
unfortunately, religious people are not that way. No, I mean, that's not even a joke. They're
Yeah,
not.
it's not-
They're
he's
just
not
not.
joking.
They're
No,
not-
you're
they're
not. You're not incorrect. I
Even
mean,
though like they're taught to believe to love everyone.
which
they don't.
Starlight does say,
Yeah,
love thy
they
neighbor.
don't.
But it's like, if you love your neighbor, wouldn't you want to bring them onto Christ? And it's like, not if they don't want to.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, if that crowd knew all the lewd acts that Mr.
They do, or
Mis-
the stuff that they get into.
no, that Mr. Ezekiel was doing,
Yeah.
he would have been
Or
crucified.
Homelander, or
Yeah,
anyone
any
else.
of those
Robert
guys.
Tilton.
Well, they found out.
Right.
R Tilt, baby, R Tilt.
oh my God. So anyway,
Sponsor us.
oh You know, Justin talked the other day.
Hey, our product is not invisible though, so it's real. Just saying. Go ahead.
In one of our audio podcasts, you talked about working with a bunch of clowns. Like, I see it. I'm with it. Like,
Oh
I
my
understand it.
Oh, I'm a freaking bozo. Like, I used to watch Bozo on WGN as a kid. I used to love the game where you toss the balls into like the buckets and you get prizes, and those kids were terrible, and I'm like, I can win that, G.I. Joe. Let me go to Chicago. I can do that.
I've seen Justin at like carnival
Yes.
games.
I
He's
am
very competitive.
competitive.
Very competitive.
Very competitive.
Yeah.
AF.
Unfortunately, the price those kids paid, whatever Bozo did with them off screen, was not worth the G.I. Joe figure. I'm sure. So, but my competitive juices as a 6-year-old were like, they were there. I was like, I can do that, Bozo. I can do. Believe in me. Just like we believe in Ezekiel, like we believe in the boys.
I was gonna make a Michael Jackson joke, but now I'm not going to.
No,
Anyway,
you're not.
Moving on. Okay,
We're
so
gonna get a hate comment from Donica
we're
down
gonna-
there.
man,
We're gonna
she doesn't
move-
watch the show, so it doesn't matter.
We're
so.
gonna moonwalk it back to the boys.
Yes.
Look at that.
Thank
Nice,
you.
nice,
Look at
put-
that.
Nice, Justin. Thank
You gotta
you.
look at the man in the mirror. You know.
Well, who comes flying in to Believe Expo is Homelander.
I thought you were saying like Peter Pan.
No, Homelander comes flying into Believe Expo and says hello to everyone and runs into
Hi, guys.
Hi guys, and you know, God bless you, and da da da.
He's almost like when he arrives, he's like, "You betcha," and I'm good as. It's almost like if Tim Tebow was a superhero. When he lands and he's like touching people in the crowd, and then the little PR lady's like, "Don't touch people. Don't touch. You know, you can't touch him
no
or
touchy,
whatever."
no
Yeah.
touchy.
Yeah.
But Homelander tells Ashley to get Madeline after they go, you know, to a tent because he's talking. He wants to talk to her about the talking points. Stillwell's not there. Where is she? Anyone?
The doctor.
The doctor.
With the
She's
baby,
taking her
right?
kid to the pediatrician.
Yes. And
Little Tommy or Timmy,
Billy.
Billy.
Is it Billy?
does he have a name?
I'm kidding.
She
no.
says the name.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
no
idea.
I think it's Tommy.
Pickles? Oh, that was
Tommy
way after your time.
Pickles?
Rugrats.
Oh.
That was way after your
I thought it
time.
was like Tommy or something. Or
Toby.
Toby. No, but the kid's name's with a T, I'm pretty sure.
No. Okay,
If
so
you're a kid of the his name starts with T, don't at me, okay? Sorry. I have name issues also.
You're gonna have
Yes.
little Timmy.
I'm
Timmy.
Antonio, by the way. Me llamo es Antonio. Go ahead, Brittany.
I don't know if we're gonna get through this episode,
I
y'all.
don't think so.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is going great.
Yeah, it is.
I like our rants more than the episode part.
Okay.
We've got plenty of time.
I know.
Yeah.
I
We just
know.
got the time cue.
Hey, we did get the time cue, so we're
Gosh.
good. We're
Shout out to Nate Dogg for that, man.
right. Thanks.
Nathan,
mean-
nice socks.
You know, usually
Deadpool, yeah.
we're usually derailing the train, but like we could take a train stop. We could have a little excursion. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like let's get off the beaten path. Let's talk some brass tacks. I'm trying to throw out all the cliches that I can think of. My back's against the wall. I'm gonna give 110% in this rest of this podcast. We have half a show left to go, but I'm giving 110%. I just already said that one. I don't know
You're doing
because
good.
if you don't win today, there is no tomorrow.
No.
You miss 100%.
Although tomorrow is Friday.
I was
right?
waiting for
What did he say?
Oh yeah,
It's
you
100%
miss
of
it that you don't take. I'm taking them all. Field goal attempts, FGAs all day. I'm just shooting.
2-point conversions.
2-point. I'm going for 2. I'm not punting ever. If I'm backed up at the 1, we're going for it.
I never put it on Madden, by the way. I never put it on Madden. It can be 4th and 45. I'm going for it.
What a madman.
Yeah.
Now I have friends who do the same thing. They don't ever punt,
No.
but like they run fake plays, and I'm like, I know you're gonna fake it, and your punter isn't as good as your quarterback. So good luck. Good luck.
EA Sports, please give us some money.
Esports at us.
Go ahead.
Okay, we're back on track.
All right, we're back on track.
We're
now.
ready to go.
Sure we are.
Second half of the show. Let's go. Halftime.
Sorry, I lost my place.
Yeah.
Okay, so getting back to this show, Homelander goes and finds Stillwell. He's griping as usual because he's not getting attention from her. You know, she's wrapped up in her child. I mean,
Also, he doesn't like the talking points.
he
Once
does not
again.
like the talking
He
points.
hates the speech. He wants to do it his way. She says, "Don't do it that way. We're so close to getting this thing through Congress. Just do what was written for you."
He says he needs to take the John Wayne frontier approach. That's what America
Yeah,
wants.
American
and,
justice or
American
something.
justice, right?
Yeah.
and he's just basically calling the baby an accessory. You know, it's getting in the way of things and what have you. But during the Believe Expo, Butcher is getting he gets either a text message or a phone call or something, and he leaves and he goes and confronts this woman at her place, and turns out this woman is Rachel. We've heard the name Rachel before in the flashback between Butcher and Becca about concert going, which is the Spice Girls, and Butcher is talking to his sister-in-law because he took a stroll down the cemetery. What do you find at the cemetery?
Tombstone
Of who?
of Becca. Becca's.
That doesn't set well with Butcher.
So what I don't understand though about this part. So did she text him to tell him that
She was buried?
yeah, or
No.
like,
Why was he at the?
because
No.
why did he just stumble upon, like, why would he go into a cemetery looking for
So
I think
Exactly.
I think he routinely goes to the cemetery just to check on the tomb, just check on the plot. I don't.
I'm not sure because
why
I
would
think
they have a plot though?
Because I think the sister thinks that she's dead, and Butcher refuses to believe that she's dead.
Yeah.
So I think that he would have. I think he received a picture message showing the tombstone
Yeah.
because when he approaches Rachel, she says, "Well, who told you?" And he says, "You know, who didn't tell me was my own sister-in-law." So the fact that the family moved on to placing a tombstone on a plot because Rachel wanted her mother to have somewhere to go grieve, basically. It's, you know, it's like closure, I guess. But Butcher very much believes that Becca is still out there, even though it's been 8 years since she's been missing. But he's not happy with it. And he's gonna do something pretty drastic with the tombstone. So
Yeah, he trashes it.
he does trash
Completely
it.
smashes
He
the tombstone.
completely
Yeah.
smashes it. I like what he told the groundskeeper. He says, "Don't worry, Gov. It's not a hate crime." And I was like, "Wow!" I'm like, I didn't realize that would be considered a hate crime. Learn something new in this scene. So, anyone want to talk about what A Train finds out when he goes back to Pop Claw's apartment?
Oh. He finds that
Is
their
there a-
teddy bear camera.
Yeah.
Their
Yep.
secret nanny cam. And yeah, he finds out what was on the tape, and he plugs the USB into the computer and watches the video.
Yeah. Well, not only what Pop Claw did to the landlord, but she.
R.I.P.
Yeah, RP to the landlord. But he also
way to go.
we also find out the faces of the assailants that
Frenchie.
basically blackmailed.
It was just
Pop
Frenchie,
Claw.
right?
It was
Just
just
Frenchie.
Frenchie
It was
at
just Frenchie.
first.
You always
Yeah.
see
You
Frenchie.
hear
Yeah.
you
You
hear
hear
Butcher.
Butcher.
You see Butcher's jacket and stuff.
Yeah,
but it was
you
only
see,
Frenchie.
you see Frenchie's face. So essentially, Frenchie's now burned because now the Seven knows what he looks like.
Right.
So
That's not going to play out well because A-Train will take that picture to the Vought, like security people. They run Frenchie's photo,
And
find
they're gonna
out.
find all the
all this
aliases and
info.
everybody else that he
Yeah.
ran with and stuff like that. So yeah.
And now not only is A Train on the case, but Black Noir. He's just a chatterbox. So
Really is. He really, really is.
shut that guy up. He's just talking.
Yeah.
So back.
he's fluent in Spanish too, I think.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, very much so. He's very fluent. Yeah, he's
Kind of like
bilingual.
Justin.
How would you pronounce his name in Spanish? Or maybe we probably shouldn't say that. Okay, let's go. Okay, so
Which is ridiculous because Black Noir
It means
is
it's
French
for black.
for black.
Negro,
so
negro.
his name
okay.
is Black, basically.
Negro,
Oh,
negro.
okay.
Mike Black, you should understand that reference.
Oh, so in Spanish,
When
he's
people,
double-
so okay, tangent. You guys have your tangents. I have my tangent.
What did you say?
no,
Say it.
no, I'm not gonna
Say it. What you say?
I didn't say it.
Y'all went on your tangents. I'm gonna go on mine.
Okay.
My brother used
I
to.
heard that.
My brother used to work in cell services, like selling cell phones. And so when one of the new iPhones came out, it comes out in different colors, and one of them was like a black, and then there was like an ultra black or some nonsense like that. And
What's
so,
that funny? I'm sorry.
so I know why you think it's funny. So this customer came in and asked, well, can I get the black or whatever? So my brother liked to jack with customers because it was a stupid question. He's like, okay, well, would you like midnight black or black or whatever? And she's like, oh, black would do. I was like,
That
okay.
reminds me of, y'all ever seen Parks and Rec?
I watched it.
Yeah.
Well, you seen where Tom was showing someone the memorial ribbons for the horse that died, the mini horse,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
they're all he's like what? They're all black. He's like, no, this is midnight. This is obsidian. And he names like all these colors,
Yeah.
and they're all
Abyss.
just black ribbons.
R.I.P. Little Sebastian.
Yeah,
That's the
R.I.P.
name of the-
man.
That's the name of the horse.
Sebastian.
The mini horse.
Yeah.
I love that show.
That you need to if you I mean you love The Office. You
Yeah, I
like
do.
Parks and
It's
Rec.
funny.
Aziz
It's
Ansari, man,
funny.
as Tom is.
Oh,
Oh, my
he's-
God.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris
Yeah,
Pratt. Yeah,
Star-Lord.
fat Chris Pratt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fat Pratt?
Yeah, it's,
Fat
Is that
Pratt.
what it was called?
Yeah.
it's a really good show.
Okay.
Amy,
I'll
Amy
check it.
Poehler.
I need to watch it before they take it off Netflix because it's going off this year.
Okay, I'll do that.
It's like
Okay.
5 seasons. 6
7.
maybe? 7? Okay.
So we're gonna get into the good part of this episode.
Let's
I
get
think
there.
one of the good parts is back at the expo. Huey has asked Starlight to get the VIP passes to Ezekiel's event, and to the tune of $15,000 basically. And Huey encounters Homelander, but Homelander addresses Huey first. What was everyone's first?
I think he knows. He knows
Homelander?
Huey's one of the guys that's looking for A-Train or has been involved with A-Train. I think he can tell. Just the way he treats him. Yeah.
Yeah, it really intimidates him. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, how did you get here? Oh, well, how long have you known Starlight? And he definitely is fishing for info. What we do see,
He has that no because he did visit the seventh
The
hideout, the
Yeah.
compound, episode 1.
And you can see through
did
walls. You could have saw
Yeah,
them.
so
like,
he probably knows
yeah.
everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. right? So Huey, along with others who paid for this VIP experience, go backstage, and what's going to basically happen is baptisms. Like they're all going to be rebaptized. For Huey, he's going to be baptized for the very first time because he doesn't really know if he believes in if there's a higher power and what have you. He's like, well, I don't think it's Morgan Freeman or anything, but
This is a funny line.
it is a funny line. But Butcher has gone on a tangent at some point. He's arguing with people
No,
about
I agree.
religion. But Huey's about to find himself baptized, and it doesn't go very well with Homelander. I mean,
Well, he dunks him underwater, holds him for a while. He holds him much longer than those other people.
yes.
So
Because Huey said that he's afraid of water, but Homelander does this reading of his blood pressure, and he's like, you're 150 over 90, but he reassures Huey, don't worry, you're in good hands. I got you. Yeah, he really had him underwater for a while.
just a little side tangent to that. Homelander, if he's so concerned about making money, think about how much money he could make in the medical center. If he can tell people's blood pressure just by touching them.
Yeah.
Or just
Imagine if
reading
he
them.
looks, he can just scan
exactly.
X-rays.
Yeah. He's
Hey,
a walking.
you have a tumor.
Yeah, he's a walking X-ray.
can-
Walking. Yeah.
Save a lot of money
CAT
just
scan.
that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Dr. Homelander.
Ooh,
There you
that's
go.
the next series. That's gonna
Next
spin
series.
off.
Dr.
That's how
Homelander.
he's gonna redeem himself, dude.
Dr. Homelander, Medicine Man. Writes
I
itself.
actually like that show, Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. I actually really did like that show. But Huey, stupidly, in my opinion, leaves his phone with the video evidence of Ezekiel in his pants when he's getting into the water because he's immersing himself fully clothed. By the way, don't know if y'all caught this. He was wearing a Billy
Billy
Joel
Joel.
shirt. So he's to be washed of his sins. So that was the last reference he made to Robin
Yeah.
about do not besmirch the name of Billy Joel.
Gotcha.
So I think I'm maybe reading too much into this, but it's by wearing that shirt, it's he's stripping himself of all the things that happened before
I could see
Robin
that.
stuff.
That's good. Yeah.
No, I can see that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I didn't think about that, but
That makes sense.
Yeah, I just thought he was wearing it because he was a big fan. That's
Well,
if-
he is
No,
a fan.
he is a
He
big
is a big
fan.
fan.
yeah, but I mean, if I were to be baptized, I'd probably be in a Jordan shirt or something because I have a lot of Jordan shirts. What am I talking about? What
Get
am I talking
baptized in.
about? What am I talking about?
in
Or maybe Captain America. Maybe I'd love Captain America gear. So anyway, back to the show. Sorry.
So once Huey is baptized, he needs some guidance.
Yeah.
He needs some guidance by way of Ezekiel. And this is this is how he gets Ezekiel cornered to tell him, hey, I've got something on you. You need to tell me about Compound V, or else that video is going to go up on
Your
YouTube,
website or
Twitter,
whatever.
whatever. Because I was part of
Friendster,
it.
MySpace.
MySpace.
Shout out to Tom.
Yeah. we did him wrong. We left him high and dry, man.
He made his millions. He's good.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
he's rich. He's
chill.
fine.
That's true.
Yeah.
But he was always our number one friend.
He
Anyway,
was.
so
It's kind of creepy, but yeah, he was.
so Huey finds out that blackmail is not cake because he literally was about to get his, blessed self meeting the Lord sooner than he would have thought. But anyway, Huey will get the info out of Ezekiel, passes it on, and what next? What happened next? Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Is it the now? Isn't Sally on stage at this point? She's about to talk to the
No, because
crowd.
Homelander comes before her.
Homelander does his speech. Does
Oh
all
yeah,
the-
yeah.
gets-
Okay.
He gets everybody riled up.
Yeah.
Basically saying, I'm going to go find the terrorists and kill them. And the people who brought down the plane, they deserved to, to.
But he does mention that Vought wanted him to make certain talking
Right.
points, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Why? Because I'm an American, and this is what America
Yeah.
wants. Like,
No.
why does that sound so familiar?"
And I answer to a higher calling, he says.
Yes.
Not Congress, I answer to, because,
Sounds very familiar.
That sounds very familiar, y'all.
yep,
Oh man.
America.
Subliminal messaging, right here. Nathan, can we put like a warning?
Just put a photo of a Cheeto behind us.
My sister likes to call that person Cheeto Von Tweedo.
That's pretty
That's
good.
good.
Yeah, it's very good. Shout out to Melissa. All right, so yes. Homelander gets everyone riled up. We break quickly to see that Queen Maeve has gone to go visit an old friend. She's quite intoxicated, it looks like.
yeah.
And this old friend's a very good old friend of Queen Maeve's.
Yeah.
And not a man friend.
Not a man friend. You are correct. Not
She's a lady.
She's a lady. She's a lady friend.
So Maeve might like ladies.
So that was the curious thing to me because she dated Homelander, but was that like just a front or did they actually date?
Yeah.
And
Well, it could have. She could be bi.
she could be bi, which
She's a switch hitter. It's cool.
is that the technical term?
Yeah,
Baseball
sports
term,
it is.
sure.
Yeah, in 2019, it's cool. Yeah,
Plays for both teams.
yeah.
Yeah, I know that. I
She's
understand.
a walking free agent. So
Okay. Well, there you go.
yeah,
You guys in the sports book.
I know it's crazy. Yeah, well, that meeting doesn't go over very well. Maeve leaves. She's quite upset and what have you. Then Frenchie gets a call from Shuri. Shuri finds out that Black Noir has found out where she lives, and if he knows where she lives, then all the other addresses are burned.
Yep.
And so now Frenchie's in a panic.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, next, talking about Starlight. Starlight is pleading to her mother that, hey, like, I'm not sure if I'm with this thing anymore, right? And her mother says, you need to do this for me, which I thought was really, really bold of her to, say. She's like, if it wasn't for her mother, I guess Starlight wouldn't be where she is. She wouldn't be in the 7. She wouldn't, whatever.
All the sacrifices she made or whatever.
All the sacrifices.
well,
yeah.
she's a pageant
Sacrifices.
mom. Yeah, she's a pageant mom.
Yeah.
From day one, her daughter was more of a prop, a way for her to gain notoriety and popularity and fame.
Oh yeah.
So her mother feels like she's owed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I gave you life, so now you need to pay up
You're doing
with
this
your
for me.
popularity.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Absolutely.
And I thought
It's
that was
funny how much it turns later on. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
Can't wait. It's
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But Starlight will take the stage, and she starts off with her script, and it's, everyone's listening, and then she decides to go off script, talking about, I don't know if all this is real. I don't know, like, if, I believe and what have you, but to say, basically, by doing certain things doesn't get you into heaven or whatever, like, she's being very real. Like, this is her truth. And she opens up about the sexual assault.
Yeah.
She uses some language, which I loved, and everyone's kind of shocked. And, like,
Just say the words.
The best part of
Just say it. I almost did. I almost did.
but the best part about that is that Huey's the one, like the only one clapping.
Yeah, he's the only one
and then
clapping.
everyone's just looking
Yeah.
at him like
he's
wow.
crazy.
That's why I clapped just now. I was trying to. Huey's my favorite character. So. That's That's what I was doing. Go ahead, Brittany. Sorry.
It's okay. So she walks off stage. Huey comes up to her to like, hey, you know, that was great, you know, and he's trying to comfort her, and she's pretty pissed off, like even at him, because she's like, you're using me and to meet, you
What's
know,
his name?
whatever.
Mr. Manwich.
Mr. Manwich.
Can we get a sponsorship already? God.
Do they still exist?
I don't know. We'll have to look that up.
We'll bring it back.
Research hasn't been my thing lately, so. Go ahead, Brittany.
Anyway, I work with a bunch of crazy people. Anyway, so yeah, Huey is, you know, comforting her, what have you, and he finally comes clean and he talks about Robin's death. And that kind of changes Starlight's tune, or Annie's tune.
But I wonder if he said that to get Starlight off the trail a little bit. I wonder if he said that to like use Starlight even
I don't
more.
think so. I think he was finally like wanting to be honest with her.
Mm-hmm.
He just got baptized. Like, why does he want to, like, you know, commit a sin?
I'm a heathen, so I don't know.
Yes, I know you are.
I think Commit a Sin was like Billy Joel's Fit Studio album.
Are you serious?
I'm kidding. No, I don't. I have no. The Ultimate Sin's Ozzy Osbourne, though.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, George, you want to talk about...
That's got a bit the head of a bird.
yeah.
Bat.
No,
Bat.
A bat.
Bat.
Did somebody do a bird too? Was that Alice Cooper?
Probably.
Maybe.
Okay.
Wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah.
George, you want...
Stage.
George, you want to talk
What
about
of them?
what happens in the NICU at the hospital between Butcher and
Yeah.
Buttermilk?
So, what they end up getting the tip and they go to the hospital and check out. Why did you laugh at that?
sorry.
You know why he's laughing. Just ignore it.
Wow.
This is the giggle fit phase.
Anyways, they go to this hospital in hopes to find some compound V and find a little bit more information about why it's getting there, what's happening, and what they find out is they find this baby, or like all these babies are connected to compound
I think
V.
you're gonna say cooked.
No, connected. They're all connected to the compound V, and it's all flowing through them. And all these different babies have different powers. It seems like.
Presumably.
Presumably. And one is like literally beaming out blue laser eyes. And I don't know what those boxes are made out of, but man.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to contain that, yeah,
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, anyways,
Zinc.
it might.
I mean, that's Homelander's. That's one thing he can't see
It
through
might.
zinc.
That's
So.
true.
But anyways, they Butcher and Mother's Milk get caught, and they end up using the baby as self-defense, and they just start lasering these people, like gruesome too. It was pretty
Such
bad.
a funny scene.
It was hilarious and very gross at the same time because you see that guy just gets like split in half.
That was funny. I'm sorry.
That
was
funny, but the dolphin dying wasn't.
no, because
Okay.
he's a bad guy. Like that's what he gets. Like you don't want to get in trouble. I mean, you don't want to get lazy. Don't.
You don't even know if he was a bad guy. He was probably just working in the hospital. He probably had a family.
He's
never even
he's
knew.
protecting babies who have been pumped up with hero steroids. No, he got to go. He got to go.
Okay, so y'all know I like to do poll questions on our social media
Yeah.
pages. So what was funnier, the dolphin death, or rather dolphin being run over by a semi, or a homicidal baby with laser powers?
The dolphin's gonna win.
The dolphin's gonna win? Okay.
The dolphin's gonna
Oh,
win.
we'll pose it
The
to our
only win of the
followers.
season for the Dolphins.
Wow, that's a good one.
I'm literally here all week. I'm here all week.
Well, we got one more work day after this,
That's true.
so not all week.
Wow.
No.
I
Let
know.
me see on the weekends.
I'm here all work week.
All right, who wants to talk about Frenchie and Black Noir and what's going on with that?
Pass.
Not it? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Y'all suck anyway. All right, so Frenchie needs a miracle at this point because he's being followed by Black Noir, and he's trying to have to get to a safe place and what have you. And Black Noir is actually showing like who he is, you know, his skill, because we at this point we don't know.
Seen him in action, haven't seen him do anything.
No, just
Talk so much.
Motor mouth.
so talkative.
Black got hands though. He got hands.
Yeah. So, and I guess Frenchie is with the female, but
Yeah.
the female in Black Noir are, you know, battling it out, what have you, and she appears to be wounded at some point.
No, it looked like she died.
Yeah, it looked like she. Yeah, you're right. And Frenchie is basically told to like leave her behind.
Yeah, because he's like, oh no, he's like he thought she was dying. He's like well, she's like go or whatever, and he ends up leaving.
And he's very sympathetic because she sacrificed her life to save him. So I guess that meal must have worked at some point. Maybe after knocking it over, she ate it and felt better or whatever. But that but then we see, and you can always tell when how the camera pans a certain way that we're not done with the female. She begins to awaken, and her wounds are healing. And
Praise the Lord.
Praise her, she's cooking. That's what did it. That's a superpower.
Had to say it.
all right, that was good. That was
And
good.
Jesus said, "Let them." Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
God. Praise the Lord and His miracles. So that wraps up this episode of Good for the Soul, the 5th episode of The Boys. Final thoughts, everyone.
The female has health regeneration powers. That Robert's Wolverine. I mean, that's. I thought she was really gone. I mean, for her, we still don't know the extent of her full powers, but we know she can.
She can fight.
Yeah, she can
And
fight.
heal.
She can heal. So maybe it could be a sign to come that she could fight on the side of the boys, and them having the actual suit on their side could even the odds a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, they're still down. Well, it's still not close because they
Not
got
close.
7. Not close at all. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
it's somebody who can fight on their side. So
True.
George?
I think it's interesting now that we know they're feeding the babies compound V.
yes.
We'll say feeding it to them.
Sure, we'll say feeding.
Whatever, because
Injecting.
yeah, it sounds awful.
Like little Gerber things.
Yeah, a little Gerber compound V.
I wonder which one of them is going to be the next Gerber baby.
Probably the one with the laser eyes.
That's
I never liked the carrots one, but now as an adult, I eat carrots all the time. But I didn't like the
Wait,
carrot
are you
version.
eating the carrot Gerber baby thing as an adult?
No, I meant just
Oh,
carrots,
okay.
period. But should I try? Is it affordable?
Probably not.
No.
Having kids is
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
So probably not.
Yeah.
Justin.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, go
It's
ahead.
just crazy. Like now we know that they're basically injecting him, and they're not born with superpowers. They're basically created in a lab. That's it.
Presumably.
No. No. If you can't figure that out by now, I'm sorry.
So unlike Ezekiel's, we were given the powers because of God and because we believe whatever.
That's literally disproved this episode.
Yes, exactly. Justin, your thoughts or your favorite part of this episode?
We made a lot of jokes. I've made a lot of them. But it's a really good episode. It really is. You should watch it. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff happens in this episode.
I mean, homicidal infant. Come on.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The show is just insane. It really is. That's why we have such a good time talking about it, because it's so crazy. It's off the rails. It's like our show. So perfect melding of shows, content.
So now we want to hear what our followers think of this episode and this podcast episode of tangents. And you can do that by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Search for The Watchers in the Basement. If you do use hashtags, use hashtag Watchers Basement, and send us your memes, your articles, your feedback on the show The Boys, as well as our show.
Manwich recipes.
Manwich recipes.
Please.
You guys have sponsorships too. Come talk to us. And Justin, where can our followers also find us outside of YouTube?
Right. So we're also available for our listeners over on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Thanks to Anchor, which is a great platform that allows us to share our wonderful show with you and everyone on various podcast platforms.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that wraps up this episode. I kind of hijacked it today,
That's fine.
but
Appreciate it.
And so we'll be back talking about the next episode of The Boys, and we're almost there. We're almost finished. And be sure to tune into some of our audio podcasts on the platforms that Justin just mentioned. That was going to be hard to say, or Antonio just mentioned. And we'll see y'all later.
Yep. Thanks for watching.
See ya.
My name's Herman now.
Come on.